Hello, you're welcome to Reviews and Recaps. Let's get into today's video. So we're going to be reviewing Porsha's Family Matters Season 1, Episode 7. What you might say the finale, grand finale. Well, I wouldn't call it grand because it was anything but grand. But let's just say the finale. Anyways, let's get into this mess. So the episode started with Dennis and PJ and Portia. So Dennis brought PJ back over to Portia's house. And it was interesting when Dennis stayed at the door, and I just remembered what Portia said about when she was younger, and there was almost like this unspoken rule about, not crossing the barrier. And so I just thought like, she's definitely not going to get the blended family that she wanted. But also, she says she wants something, but her actions are not lining up. Anyways, we'll talk about that in a little bit of detail later. So back to the scene. So it was just interesting how Portia then proceeds to tell Dennis, "Oh, do you want to come in?" And Dennis was like, his face was like, "Hell nah, no. I don't know what you have in store for me if I come in." And I just thought like, yeah, no. You can't even expect the man to come in after how you guys treated him during the Mexico trip. So no. But Dennis came up with an excuse about a 5 o'clock appointment. I bet he does not have a 5 p.m. appointment. He was just trying to avoid that girl. I think he was like, I don't know what you're going to say. I don't want you to lie on me. I'm going to just stay in here and, I'm going to just head out before you cause me some further trouble in the future. So anyways, that scene ended. We move on to the next scene with Lauren and Auntie Liz. First of all, can I just say Auntie Liz is so sweet. She just seems like one of those aunties that will take care of you, will tell you the truth, hold you accountable, but will also emotionally support you and lift you up. I just thought that was so sweet. And then when Auntie Liz started talking and Lauren said to Auntie Liz, "Can you call my baby daddy too?" And then they started talking about Auntie Liz being the baby daddy whisperer. I hollered. I laughed so hard. I was just like, wait, what? Like, no. No. And wasn't it just interesting, right? We move forward to Portia in her confessionals, and then she starts saying that, and this was when, they were pretty much at the, I believe it was a confessional right after the hospital or thereabouts, when they were in the hospital because of baby PJ. I hope baby PJ is okay now. Anyway, so but Portia was saying in her confessional that it was a dragged out argument. I'm like, girl, it was not a dragged out argument, my G. It was a brawl. You guys were throwing hands. Argument is not when you lot throw hands. Like, what are you talking about, sis? Like, I just thought, why is this woman undermining and making it seem like it was not a big deal? I'm like, yo, it was a big deal. What are you saying? And then he just reminded me of when, at the first scene, when Dennis basically said in this confessional that Portia does not apologize. Instead, if she stepped on your foot, she'll simply say, "Oh, damn, I stepped on your foot." I'm like, what? That is insane. That is someone that does not have any accountability. And so when she proceeded to say it was a dragged out argument, I said, sis, a dragged out argument where you blacked out or was throwing hands. Like, sis, that is an argument to you? Like, perhaps I don't know the meaning of an argument, because dragged out argument sounds like you're undermining exactly what happened, which was just insane. Anyways, so moving right along to the episode, to the scene where it was Lundy and Portia. I can't lie to you guys, right? I was upset for Lundy. Lundy just seemed really emotional, and Portia was definitely gaslighting her in this moment. So the scene began with Lundy basically trying to let Portia see her side and explain to Portia, like, I don't really feel like you treat me that well, blah blah blah. Portia continues to make excuses that did not even add up, if I'm being honest. She started talking about, well, Storm was the one sitting closer to me. Like, sis, what does that have to do with anything? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then Lundy proceeded to start talking about how she wants them to be closer. And Portia's response sounded hella fake, in my opinion. She was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not being funny, but if someone wanted to be close to me, my response would not be so like, whatever. My response would be, if I wanted to be close to that person too, I would be like, of course, I'm looking forward to that. Her response just seemed like very lax, right? And coupled with the fact where at the beginning of the scene, Lundy was coming to hug Porsha. Porsha didn't even seem like she had any energy for her. It was just like Lundy had to come all the way over. There wasn't even her. Like, it just seemed like Porsha was not going to make any sort of effort. Like, if you compare that to, like, when Porsha and Lauren meet up or Porsha and other people meet up, it's like the energy is just so different from Porsha. I think Porsha doesn't like Lundy, if I'm being honest. Porsha is just like, yeah, nah, I don't mess with you. But instead of saying that, she's instead very passive-aggressive towards the poor girl. Anyway, so do you know what my thing was when I was watching that scene, right? It suddenly got to the point where Portia started raising her voice. She started getting angry. And she was in the corner talking to, I guess, production, talking about, I ain't got time for this. I'm like, girl, how did it escalate? This girl was pouring her heart out to you. All of a sudden, you were taking little jabs at her. She said to you that Dennis mentioned that because of you, you basically got her fired. And instead of her thinking, okay, Portia proceeds to feed her with this BS saying, I don't remember that. I'm not being funny, but if you got someone fired, it's a yes or no question. Did you get me fired? Did you tell Dennis to fire me? Yes or no? Not, I don't remember. How are you not finna remember that you got your cousin fired? That means she did. Instead of being upfront and honest, she decided to say, oh, I don't recall that. And then she proceeded to flip it on Lundy by saying things like, oh, well, I'm guessing when he brought it to you, you then believed him and you thought my cousin would do that to me. I'm like, this brought back memories of, how certain people be like, oh, it's not you, it's me. That sort of behavior. Or you come at someone and you're angry about something that they did. Instead of them to take accountability for what they did, they flip it on you and say, but why did you go through my phone? Hon, it's not about whether I went through your phone or not. Why are you cheating with this girl? Who are you talking to? But it's like, how dare you go through my phone? It's like bluster, bluster, bluster to distract from the actual point. So in the end, it's like we started at this point, we're talking about something else. It just doesn't make any sense. So I was just there like, Portia, you're deflecting. You're gaslighting her as well. And then Lundy started crying. And I just thought, sis, like, why you made this girl cry now? But it's interesting because, Portia then goes and hugs Lundy and tries to calm her down or whatnot. But my thing is, Portia, I don't think she has accountability. And, I'll be the first to say I liked Portia a lot on Real Housewives, the fun energy she brought. Now, I don't see that fun side of her anymore. It seems like everything is just so serious. Now, I understand that family matters can be interesting and can depending on the relationship you have with your family, it can be quite messy. I appreciate that, but it was like it almost seemed like just drama from episode 1 until the end. I just didn't get it. And also, it doesn't paint Portia in the best light possible. I'll be the first to say, like, now I'm looking at her sideways. Like, I'm just like, I can't, I just can't get behind whatever it is she's doing right now. It's just not right. Anyway, so we move forward to the scene with Dennis and Auntie Liz. And I just think Auntie Liz, I just love me some Auntie Liz, man. I love me some Auntie Liz. And it was just interesting how she talked Dennis up and was talking about him being a very supportive father and, just being very good to Pilar. And I was just like, yes, Auntie. And then Auntie was being a little shady when Auntie said, she wanted to invite Dennis to meet the real Uzziah family. And I thought that was funny. She was definitely shady, but we love it. We love it. We're here for it, Auntie. It was entertaining, Auntie. Like, yes. But yeah, to be honest, I feel like Auntie sort of made the show a little bit because she's like, everyone is just losing their marbles on that show. And she's almost like the voice of reason. She's the calm voice. But, Auntie can get a little shady here and there, which I like. But Auntie does not stand for nonsense. And you can see from the way Auntie was relating with Dennis that Auntie was on Dennis's side. Auntie did not believe that Dennis did anything wrong in that fight. And Auntie definitely made that clear without coming out, and saying it. But, she had tactical and smart ways of letting us, the viewers, know that Dennis did not do, Dennis did not escalate the fight. Dennis wasn't, Dennis was trying to walk away, was basically what Auntie said. Alrighty, so the scene where the chef came over that was meant to make Nigerian meat pie. First of all, I'm Nigerian, right? And that meat pie, guys, did not look too good. Now, I'll be the first to say certain things, I guess sometimes it might not look that good. She's not a pastry chef at the end of the day, so it might not look as good, but it might taste better. Who knows? But it definitely did not look that good. I know people that have made better meat pie and they aren't even chefs. So, yeah, I was not impressed with that. But aside that, it was like, okay, Porsha, like, suddenly cooking all the time. All right, sis. Okay, she's really trying to secure Simon. I guess Simon likes home-cooked meals. I don't know, man. Perhaps. And it was her, like, putting flour on her face and acting like, she made the food. I was like, hun, that man knows you can't cook. Do you think he's falling for it? I don't think so. I don't think that man cares. He's just like, as long as I eat, I don't really care. Guys, real talk first. Do you guys actually notice any sort of affection between Simon and Portia? Do you actually see it? Because I don't see it. Like, sometimes I patiently just watch their interaction to see if there is anything there, and it gives me nothing. It really gives me nothing. I've seen even older people when they're dating, like way older people, you see more affection than I see with Simon and Portia. So I don't really know, guys. I don't really know. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah. I just don't see the affection. I don't see the affection. Anyway, so the scene moved forward to Auntie Lisa's event. People turned up. Portia didn't because PJ was not feeling well. I just thought Auntie Lisa was so sweet. As soon as she saw the video and she heard they were talking about PJ, she actually was crying, bless her. But yeah, that's just a side point. Anyway, so moving forward to the scene with Simon and Auntie Liz, guys, this scene got me thinking. Simon has lost his mind. He has lost his mind. He really has. Like, what audacity, the bravery to look Auntie Liz in the face and say, you guys need to be showing some respect by treating Uzziah's granddaughter better. Huh? Is he alright? Like, what? I was shocked. I was like, Simon, no, Simon. Mind your business. Mind your business. That being said, Auntie Liz handled it well, man. She was just like, God bless you. I love you. Hug. Bye. I'm like, all right. Teaching us how to handle these people. Because I was not here for whatever it is that Simon was doing. But no. I don't know who sent you on that fool's errand, but no. No. And then we'll move forward to the scene with Dennis and Portia. And so I think this was the final scene. The conversation was awkward at the start. I was like, what is this tension between you guys? Like, understand that, there's a lot of tension because of the fight. But from what Portia said, I think in one of the earlier scenes, she was basically saying that Dennis apologized. She didn't. And I thought, girl, you should have apologized. It was your fault. A lot of the things, you had a part to play in that fight, a huge part to play. You were the one throwing hands. I didn't see Dennis throwing hands. But anyways, I digress. Let's come back to the scene. So I thought the scene was awkward, right? So first of all, another thing I noticed is I think Dennis still has feelings for Portia. Because when he asked her about, where she was moving to, and she said the city, and Dennis has been trying to get Portia to move to the city for a while, it was almost like, oh, wow, so you can move to the city? Like, he was upset. But the way Dennis was coming at Portia, you can sort of see that there are some feelings there. Now, here's my issue with Portia, right? Portia is so quick to be like, I want to move forward. I want things to be civil. But her actions are not displaying that. She comes across salty as hell. When she said that she's been something about PJ's school in the city, and Dennis is like, what school? We haven't talked about school. And then she's like, oh, she's been scouting around for schools for PJ. I'm like, that is something you discuss with Dennis as the father. That is something you discuss. It's a different thing if Dennis wasn't a present father, was not involved, didn't care about whatever happens. Even at that, you at least let them know that, okay, I'm moving to the city. I haven't decided where I'm going yet. These are some schools that I'm looking at for Let's know if you want to come along. Certain things, you can't just be like, because the kid lives with me, is my way or the highway. No, the kid has another parent, especially when the parent is in their life. You have to run these sorts of decisions past the other parent as well. It's just not right. And then when Dennis reminded her that this child is 50% mine as well, she was like, that sounds aggressive. I'm like, girl, your whole energy is off. You ain't got no right to be saying something sounds aggressive, especially when it didn't. All he did was remind you that the child is 50% you as well, him as well, and oh my God, did you hear when she said the brother comment? She basically proceeds to say, I'm trying to make you more like a brother. What? Do you know what? It baffles me when people say things like that, because I'm like, would you sleep with your brother? That is disgusting. And like, I'll give you a primary example of something that's happened to me before. There was this guy that was trying to move to me, was literally been trying to date me for the longest time. Every time he sees me, he's constantly trying to date me. And then someone asked him who I was. He proceeded to tell the person that, I'm like a sister to him. I said, what? What are you on about? I'm like a sister to you? Would you want to F your sister? Are you the one always constantly coming at me talking about, I want to marry you, but you're not giving me a chance? But now you want to marry your sister? That is disgusting. I don't know why people do that. You can't be trying to make the father of your child your brother. That is disgusting. Anyways, I as you can tell, I have strong opinions about that. Like, I never understood when people will be calling people they're trying to date their sister, their brother. That is just disgusting. Anyways, moving forward, so Dennis and Portia continue talking, and Dennis was practically saying to Portia, important decisions, you gotta run it past me. You can't be doing it by yourself. I need to be involved. And I absolutely agree with that. I think Dennis has a right to be involved in important and critical decisions concerning their child. That's just the reality. And when Dennis proceeded to say about a judge, having some involvement in it, Portia lost her mind. But Portia, can you blame Dennis though? Because it almost seems that you say you want something and then Mexico happens and you're throwing hands. Like, am I saying Dennis was not disrespectful by doing the shut the F up? No, he was very, very disrespectful. However, throwing hands on someone is another level of disrespect. It's a greater level, it's abuse. It's not right. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened during the episode. Now, my final thoughts about the episode is literally, that is it. I'm just thinking, right? Do you know what I think? I personally think, like, what is the reason that she left Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because this show is not it. If she was looking for a show that would give her and keep her bag continuously coming, this is not it. Sis has quit, like, all her jobs. The Bravo chat room, Dish Nation, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and who knows what else she was doing, and got this show. And this show was meant to have, I believe, 9 episodes, and now it has 7, which means it was cut short because of producers probably just didn't want to work with her or something, or they felt like the season wasn't giving what it was meant to give, so they cut it out, they cut it short. And so if you think about all of these things, you're just like, what is the reason for the show? Whatever the reason was for the show, I think she's lost it, because one, people will not see her the same way. I've been scrolling. Oh, well, I can't speak. Scrolling. Yes, that's it. I've been scrolling through a few comments on YouTube, and I can see that a lot of people are angered by the show. And rightfully so. I don't blame them, because one thing it shows about Porsha, which I think she'll need to do a lot of damage control if she wants people to continue to like her. She went from being a fan favorite to a villain, all in, like, within the space of less than a year. And I'm just like, I think she overplayed her hand, in the sense that she really thought, like, I'm a fan favorite, people would love me, people would support me, whatever I do. Yes, but you've made so many consciously just questionable decisions, and people are outside looking in and thinking, I cannot support this mess. For example, people are not cool with the Simon and her arrangement in the first place. So people are already looking at her sideways in the first place. And so, it's not just about that. And then it's like, okay, putting it in people's faces, how Fallon was involved. You were castmate with Fallon, and then now you're marrying her ex-husband. It's just too messy. So people already hated that. And then to have a show where the show was meant to be you showing yourself in a good light, instead the show has portrayed you in an even worse light. You've portrayed yourself on the show in a worse light, and now everyone is thinking, wow, I can't believe I ever liked this person. Speaking for me, I'm thinking, girl, I know who you are. So yeah, so rightfully so. So I don't expect there to be a season 2. Of course, if there's a season 2 and you guys want me to cover that, just let me know and I will cover it for you. I will watch it for you guys, because I can't lie, I don't think there's going to be a season 2. It's just, it just wasn't giving what it was meant to give. It just wasn't giving what it was meant to give. She needs to go back to the drawing board to think, okay, how am I going to move forward from here on out? But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and please give this video a thumbs up, please share, and make sure you subscribe and tap that bell for notifications so you know every single time that I post. Thank you so much. I'm new to commentary, so please support your girl by sharing and putting the word out about my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you later. Bye.